Welcome, hello to Snoo Social. So I'm going to teach you everything I know about building up an Instagram channel and building up followers. I started this new channel last week, less than a week ago. Just done 7 posts. I'm up to 150 followers. That's more than some channels I know that have been around for more than a year. So there's still a chance to get followers quickly on Instagram for free by doing a little bit of work, by spending the time creating posts and engaging with people. There's still time to get followers, as opposed to on Facebook, where really if you want to gain followers on Facebook and you don't have a network of thousands of friends to help you get started, you really do need to spend the money on the Facebook ads these days to get a bit of exposure. But on Instagram you don't need to necessarily spend money yet to get exposure. You can start to establish a good channel with good followers before you even start spending money on advertising. So I'm going to show you that now, some of my tips. So here's 7 posts I've done over the last 7 days or so, and I've just created a new one. I've loaded it onto my phone. I use an Android phone. And I'll just refresh this page so you can see this is the latest thing that's happening at the moment. That's up to 41. That's the latest post on Instagram. Now, you have to post, as you know, to Instagram via your phone. But I prefer doing all the other interactions on my laptop. I just find it easier with a mouse and a keyboard rather than scrolling through on my thumb on my mobile phone. So I'm not going to show you the picture of me sharing that post to Instagram. I've already lined it up on my phone and I've just pressed post, and now when I refresh my page you'll see, okay, here's the latest photo. So I've just posted a new one right now. So this is my technique now to make sure that this gets lots of likes and followers today. Alright? And then I'll show you, I'll do other tutorials later on how to create posts and different things. Today is simply my techniques for getting lots of engagement. So look, here's a few tags that I've got already. Let's just grab some of these, so copy these. Come in here. Always like your own post. That gets the ball rolling. Put in some sort of comment. Now, I've made a mistake here. This is usually where I can see my mistakes better. When I'm on my laptop, I can't read properly on my mobile. It's too small. So I can see here I've spelt "earned" wrong. So now I can see that. I'll just log back into my phone. And where's that? If you want, oh no, it's not "earned," it's "want." That should be "want." So I'll just update that. And then when I refresh the page, I can see if you want, yeah. So I've fixed up my spelling mistake. All right. Now I'm going to add some hashtags in here. I'll just have a look at these. IG tips, Instagram tips, follow me, follow back always, follow for follow, like for like, etc, etc. Make sure I've got LB. Yep, I've got my LB, which stands for like back. Team follow back. I notice I haven't got FB for follow back. I like follow back. You can use, as you're probably aware, you can use up to 31 hashtags. Now, most people advise you don't put the hashtags in on the first comment because that just clutters it up and makes it messy. But you should use at least 10 hashtags on everyone's post, right? Okay, let's talk about why we use these hashtags. What's a hashtag? Well, let's click on one and find out. What happens if I click on FB, follow back? Well, there you go. FB stands for follow back, and all these channels, and there I am, right up the top, because I'm in the most recent. Alright, but anyway, I've got a sequence to how I do all this. So I've made my first post, right? So the next thing I need to do is start rewarding people who have been following me. So first of all, make sure you always follow people that are following you, unless you don't agree with what they're saying or their channel. I mean, obviously we don't want to be following child pornography or stuff like that. But here's a channel that's followed me. I would love to follow them back. It's art, it's paintings, it's all the things I'm interested in. Fantastic. Now, here's another channel. It's got some, looks like some auto or engineering parts. Look, I am not a big rev head. I'm not big into cars. For me, a car's just to get to A and B. But I do have a good mechanic. He's a great mechanic. He does a great job. And as a marketer, I'd be more than happy to help these people advertise or whatever. I'm also keen to see what they're doing here. This is a nice product shot. It's shot nicely with a nice... Look, all I'm saying is that they could probably use my services at some point one day, even though they're in Russia. And maybe I can use theirs. But that's probably not the most important thing. Like, the most important reason why we're following these people, even though they're in Russia, and even though they've got products that it's not my most interested thing, if I go in here and like their stuff, because of social etiquette on Instagram, if we're talking about the social etiquette of follow to follow, I've just liked a row of those three things. That means when they come on and they click on this and they see that I've liked three of their things, normal social etiquette means that they should come back to my channel, click on mine and like my stuff. What does that do? Well, then that helps push me up in all these different tag settings. Like these people up here, say for instance this tag, I follow back. They've got like almost 5,000 likes, okay? So that means that they're right up here. They're getting even more exposure. It's like the rolling stone is gathering moss. It's got the snowball effect. Because they had lots of likes and lots of comments, they got pushed up and they get exposed even more, which means now they're going to get even more likes and comments and followers, right? So that's how it works. So I don't have time to muck around now. I've got to go back and reward all the people that have been following and liking me. Now, I've been a little bit busy over the last couple of days, and so I've got a lot of rewarding to do back here. Okay? I've got to go back to all these people that I haven't gone back and followed back or liked back yet. And for me, I've got a very simple rule of thumb. Unless, like, it's illegal or unless it's child porn or whatever, I am going to follow back and like it, right? Because they're all going to help me. They're all going to help me get my photos and my channel to the top of the charts. And if they're helping me by liking or commenting or following, if they're going to help me, then I need to go back and help them. Now, this person's done it more than once. Oh, by the way, what am I doing here? Why am I clicking on it like this? All right? I could click on it one at a time, like this, go to their channels, like the stuff, and by the way, I don't even press, see this thing? I don't even press this. I just use my keyboard so that I can have my keys set up. See how I'm not touching this with my mouse? I'm actually touching the forward and back keys on my keyboard so I can make sure that I've liked everything. Now, I always like T-Bone stuff. I like how he's a musician. I like how he does daily music. And this is also my chance to get creative because I get creative with the hashtags. Good music, great music, listen to music, love this music. I'm just creating this like poetry, right? Because I don't have a lot of time because I want to have lots of followers, so I have to spend a little bit of time. This is T-Bone. I'll come back and have a proper listen later. He puts up stuff every day. And see, I just thought of this tag, but there it is. 14,600 people have also thought of this tag. And this will put T-Bone up into here, into some spot. Like, he'll be in here somewhere if I scroll down. Anyway, I want to keep going. So, what am I doing when I click on that key rather than clicking on there? I just showed you. Where's T-Bone again? Let's have a look. Where were we up to? See, this is why I do it with the modifier key, because I kind of lose track of where I am. I can't see T-Bone. Oh, there he is. Thank you for the hashtags. 3 seconds ago. He's a cool guy. Now, like I say, I could click on here, and then I click on like and blah, blah, blah. But then I have to click back here and find all this stuff again, right? What I'm doing is I'm actually holding down the modifier key. So when I press this, and when I press this, it's opening it up in a new tab, right? What this means is I can start using my keyboard much faster. I just press Command W because I'm on a Mac to go away. On an IBM computer, on a PC, it's slightly different. I think it's called Control something to make the window go away. All these commands, you can look up your keyboard shortcuts for these things. And see what I'm doing here? I'm just simply clicking through. So this is my rule of thumb for everyone. Everyone gets 3 likes, right? And they're going to continue. Anyone that likes my stuff is going to get 3 likes back. That's just the way it works for me. I like to be generous with my likes because I'm looking for those star players. And later on, I'm going to show you how to find the star players. Like I've already shown you one, T-Bone. T-Bone's great because every time you like on one of his things, and it's worth liking for a start. I like artists, I like musicians, but he's a good one. Like, because every time I like his stuff, right, he comes back and he likes my stuff, right? Which is what you want. That's called not just social etiquette, it's also called, sorry, clicked on something else there. It's also called the economy, like the social economy of likes, because this is all your time and my time. And you know that time costs money now. You only get so much time off to do things when you're not working. Otherwise, you're working to try and earn money to pay your rent and stuff like this. Now, he's liked some of my stuff, but he hasn't put any new stuff up for a while. Okay, there's still a few things on his channel I haven't liked, so notice what I'm doing now is I'm just liking a few things from his older stuff in his post. Unless it's more helpful to like their latest stuff. Notice if I haven't followed them yet, they need to be followed. They liked one of my things. Now I'm going to talk more about followers later and managing your followers, but right now I'm really, as you can see, I'm just going hell for leather, trying to find stuff to like, and returning the favour of people that have liked my stuff. It's a big job. Like, so I've got more than one channel now. So in terms of liking other people's stuff, I'm generally going through and liking it for at least about an hour a day. And I'm just showing you the very quick go at it at the moment. This is as fast as I can do it. Obviously, I'm not taking time right now to stop and smell the roses. And that is because I want to try and get as much traction on my photos straight away as I can, because this is time sensitive, right? These photos here from a week ago, none of these matter anymore in terms of what's happening now. In terms of what's happening now on my channel, this is what's happening now. This photo here. And notice we've got 11 likes already, which is good. That's a good start. In the old days of Instagram, you'd post this photo and that would just naturally go to the top of the news feed for whoever's following you. It would just appear here, bang, as soon as I posted it. And then if I posted it like 3 hours ago, people would have to kind of scroll down before they see it, right? That's not how it works anymore. Facebook bought Instagram over a year ago, and since they purchased it, they've started to add those similar algorithms to the timeline or the news feed as what they've got on Facebook. And that means photos that get more likes and more comments early on in the piece, like within the first couple of hours or so, they have more chance of appearing at the top of the feed for those people who are following you. Also, similarly, if I got like hundreds and hundreds of likes up here straight away, that means that this photo would also appear at the very top, the top posts for all those different hashtags, right? But then they've got the second section, which is the most recent. So that's why this photo is appearing here, even though I've used that hashtag, the same hashtag, on these posts are not appearing there anymore. That's why it's really important to be consistent and post regularly. Try and post at least once a day. I didn't do that this weekend. I had other things to do, so I've had a couple of days off. But I'm going to try now to post today and also tonight. You'll also notice that different times of day you'll get different amounts of time. I always try and start early in the day to get local people over here that have got businesses, and one of their activities is when they start work is to get on Instagram and do what I'm doing now, and that is follow all of those people who have engaged with you, like their things, right? Obviously, there's times where I do stop and smell the roses more in terms of really appreciating the good quality of posts that are happening on Instagram, the nice sunsets that other people are seeing in other places of the world. I mean, I am interested in all of this stuff, but once you start getting hundreds of followers, you know, like you've got to work a little bit faster. But I mean, these are people that here's another great channel. I know, even though they're up at 21,000 followers, so they've got a very significant channel now, even though they've got like 1,000 likes on their stuff, these people have still had time to go back to my little marketing channel, right, which I only started last week, and they've given me some likes, right? So this is a great channel. Not only for the fact that they're making amazing art. I mean, look at this. These people are like content curated geniuses, right? And I do take time out to look at what they do. I'm pretty familiar with this channel. I've got a lot of respect for this channel. You watch. We go back further in time, and before this amazing art started appearing, you see there's a lot of photos of the Swiss Alps and these extreme sports and stuff like that. These, like, whoever created this channel and it maintains this channel is a very cool person. I can tell you right now. So soon, I'm actually, one of the points of my channel is that soon I'm going to be telling you who to follow, because I've been watching these people for a long time now, and once I get up to about 500 on my channel, I'm going to start reposting some of my favorite channels, right? But you can find these favorite channels yourself. Okay, so what am I pressing now? On my keyboard, I'm not touching my mouse at the moment. On my keyboard, I'm just pressing Command W to make this window go away. And now I'm clicking on here with my mouse, and I'm pressing click on my mouse with like, but now I'm pressing the keyboard forward. Now I'm pressing the button like, now I'm pressing the keyboard forward. Alright? I might give them one more like, this is a new follower, and they've been good, they've been coming back and liking my stuff. So you find that some people have the proper etiquette, and some people don't, right? I mean, look here, oh, sorry, wrong channel. I'll just like another row here while we're going. Okay, make that go away. They've liked me a lot. That's because I put it up. I put it up there twice to remind me when they've given me lots of likes, and if that's there to remind me that I've really got to go back and really give some likes back to their channel to say thank you for them liking stuff on my channel. All right. Oh, now I can't remember where that was going to. So what am I trying to teach you today? I'm just trying to teach you my process for following people. I'm trying to teach you my process for the social economy of like for like and follow for follow, right? These are very important things. I could show you more of this follow back business, but for now, I'm just going to press go away on my... Why am I doing all this stuff on my keyboard, by the way? It's just to speed up the process. You could call what I'm doing now grinding. That's one of the names for this. It's like, I've got to do this thing. It's like, you know, it's like grinding coffee almost. Like, there's a lot of work here to do. If I'm going to, like, follow the etiquette and like everyone who's like me back, there is a fair bit of work to do in terms of liking and following back. I've got to click and click and click. Now, if I was going to do this on my mobile phone, it really would take me some time, right? So you can see that I've become a bit ambidextrous with the keyboard and mouse. That's just how I roll. Some people prefer it on a mobile. But the whole point is that I've just gone through most of those. I'll do it with, usually I don't go back and reward likes straight away on my latest one, because there's not a hell of a lot of point, because if I go back and like their stuff, they come back to like mine. They've already liked this one, so they've already done what I want them to do. They've already liked my latest post, and that's really the most important thing, is to like or even comment on my latest post as well. That's the number one thing they could do to help me. They could also go on there and hashtag some of my stuff, but that's a really big ask. You know, like generally what they're going to do is, you know, just like my latest photo, and that's enough for me. They're still helping me when they do that. They're still helping me with my channel because they're helping raise that photo to the top of the page for all the hashtags and on all the other followers. So they're helping me. They're helping me gain exposure, right? So so you can see what I'm doing now. Hopefully, I'm just going through all those people that have clicked like on my stuff, and I can't exactly remember which ones of the. I think I've already done this one, but I'm just going to click on it again just in case. Alright, so if I do it with my mouse so you can see what I'm doing, I'm clicking go away, and here I'm clicking on this, and here I'm clicking on like, and clicking on like, and going forward a bit, and clicking on like, and then I'm clicking go away on that tab, right? Because I've done my job. But what I'm also doing is I'm using my keyboard to press those keys. Like here I'm doing it with my mouse just so you can see what I'm doing, but it takes longer to move the mouse around and actually do that. So now I'm going to start using my keyboard. This has already been liked. While I'm here, I make a comment, you know, like be generous. Be generous with your comments, be generous with your likes. Alright, now I'm going to go back to using the keyboard in combination with the mouse so you can see how fast that I can process this. Right, this is 3 likes and a follow in under 5 seconds, right? Now, there's one thing too about following stuff on Instagram. I'm not sure, I think you can follow, well, yeah, about 50 in an hour. You can follow about 50 new people in an hour, roughly. And then once you've followed a certain amount of people within the hour, then as you probably know, Facebook will limit that for a little while. It'll just kind of put the throttle on for a little while to slow you down. And that's because on Instagram, there's a lot of fake accounts, and there's lots of like automated, like what's called bots, or just software that pretends to be an Instagram user, and it's basically doing all this activity that I'm doing now, but without a human being sitting at the keyboard doing it. And they do actually work, right? They do actually get followers, and they do actually work just like a human does. But you see, Instagram's trying to stamp that out. The reason being, they want to actually try and make this a quality channel with real users and real content. So they're trying to stamp out the bots to improve like people's experiences of being on Instagram. Look, one of the other reasons too, I'm not stopping to smell the roses, as it were, at the moment, is because for me, it's really important to maximize, get as many likes as I can quickly on that photo to raise it up in the news feed. Like after that, after I've done all this work of going back and liking people that have liked me, then I can slow down a bit and smell the roses, like I said. Like there are times where I look at these channels more carefully, really appreciate the design that's gone into them, really appreciate the photography, or, you know, like there's not many times in life a butterfly lands on your arm. There's just so much cool content out there. I would probably repost this one, but I would like try and work out too. I like to work out if the content's original or not. I can tell this is original. It's pretty obvious to me that this is original content. Not sure about this one. It could have been... Whoa, this is weird. Look at that. That's a strange looking photo. Oh, I see. Is that a sculpture? It's a sculpture. Got me. That got me. Okay, I took time off. I smelled the roses for a second. Okay, now I'm going to keep going through and keep grinding just so you can get an idea of, like, with a lot of clients that I advise on for Instagram, they're just not doing everything. And I'll show you an example of that. Let me show you some people that I think are great, that are doing great things, but they're just not killing it yet on Instagram. Let's go to Engrave Me Happy. Look, the poor guy only has 61 followers. Whoops, I haven't followed him yet. I better follow him, right? I mean, he's got 62 followers. He's been doing this for almost a year now. I've been doing this for less than a week, and I've got 152 followers. So let's go and see what he's doing wrong. This is one of my other channels, Design Kink. This is going quite well. I'm going to hit 2,000 soon. This is more of my content creator channel. This is talking about my photography, about my design, about my travels, photograph big bands like Rose Tattoo. Yeah, it's an interesting channel. Anyway, but enough about me. Let's go and have a look again at Engrave Me Happy. Now, I've really tried to help this guy by putting in some hashtags, but now it's 4 days old. I can't really help him much now anymore because this photo's too old now for it to really appear at the top of any charts. It's not going to appear at the top of miniatures because it's 4 days old, right? So now this is just lost on the Instagram. You know, I can like it, and it helps his channel look a little bit better because it's got 9 likes, but really, he's got to go in here and grind harder if he wants to succeed, right? Let's give him a hand. I'll just go in and grab all of these things. This isn't giving him a big hand, by the way, like I say, because this photo's 4 days old. It really doesn't matter what I do here now because the photo's too old for it to gain any more traction. So really, it's just helping people see that he's had 9 likes, and I'll just refresh the view, and a couple of comments. So that helps in terms of the brand perception of looking at his channel, but it's not really helping get that photo up there. See, I'm already up to 19 likes now. So anyway, Engrave Me Happy. What else can I show you about? Like, he's not using the hashtags properly. Every time he posts, he doesn't hashtag, right? He really needs to be hashtagging more. And like, look at the things this guy makes. He makes these little miniatures. It's smaller than that digit on your... I mean, you can see... Look, you can see the bloody fingerprint there. That's how tiny these engravings they are. I'd really love to see this guy get some more work. And that would be awesome. But he's got to start hashtagging more. He's got to get more followers. That's just not enough. He's got to get up past 1,000 followers, really, to be significant. And then after that, once he's got 1,000 followers, then we can talk about like converting those followers into maybe an email list or something like that. Because we've got to get people buying these things from him or hiring him to make some engravings for their weddings or stuff like that. But that's not happening yet. Okay, let's have a look at another mob that's quite interesting. I was put in charge of building up this channel a couple of weeks ago, and I've more than doubled the followers. This one's a little bit harder to build up, and that's because they don't really want to follow everyone. Alright, so here I am, Snoosh Social, Aussie Manufacturing Done Right. This is top shelf, right? We've put in all these hashtags. We've got 34 views, and that's not too bad, right? But the thing is, they don't want to follow everyone, right? They only really want to, let's have a look, they've got 228 followers, and they only want to usually follow people that are involved in the world of food, okay? So they're really trying to target people involved in their industry. So it's going to take them a bit longer to get the followers, but at the same time, they just want to have the followers that are like specifically interested in their product. The disadvantage of that is, as I was telling you before, it makes it a little bit harder for these posts to rise in popularity to the top, because only the people in the food industry are liking it rather than everyone in the Instagram universe. So it does give them a little bit of a handicap, but on the other hand, it really helps them to have a select following of targeted people that are genuinely interested in their food manufacturing product, and it makes it easier for them to engage with people that are specifically interested in what they do. Okay, so that's let's get back to the grind again for a while, and we'll keep talking about this. So okay, so we've talked about hashtags. We've talked about the etiquette of follow for follow. We've talked about the grind of going back and liking all these channels that have liked or followed us, and just making sure we've done our job properly. Liking and following back everyone that has done us a favour, everyone that's been good to us. We need to be good to them. All right. So now I've shown you that. Well, let's show you the people that don't have good etiquette and don't follow back. All right, because that's important too. You don't want to be following too many people if they don't follow you back. Look at this ratio here. I'm following about 900 people. I've only got 155 people following back. Here's some new ones. All right. Let's reward these new followers with a little bit of love. I can't do anything here yet because they've got no posts. I can do something here. I can give them a little bit of love. Same with this one. All right. Back to my channel again. Let's see what more I can do. There was no comments here. There was no comments here. There was only one comment here. I'm not killing it in the comments field. I would like to have more comments. If someone does comment on my stuff, this is my channel, but it's not going to hurt to go back, like it, and comment. It's only one, but it still helps. It's like so I'll put in some hashtags, abstract art. Alright, chuck in some hashtags, that'll help that one. It was only 2 hours old, so that will still help with that one. Alright, so if I had more comments, on this one or on my most recent one, I would simply click back on these people that commented, and that's the other part of etiquette, and comment back, right? Because comments are incredibly powerful to help rise your picture into popularity. Alright, but what about all these people that aren't following me? Like, I'm following them, but how do I know if they're following me? It's very hard to tell, isn't it? Are they following me? I can't tell. No matter what I click on, I can't see if they're following me. Alright, well, this is where there's some apps like, I don't tend to use apps for too much online, because Instagram usually has it's got this habit of banning apps and then blacklisting your channel because you did something. Okay, this is the one that I'm liking at the moment. This is the only app that I'm using at the moment. And is that the right one? Yeah, I'm using one called the Unfollowers. That's only on iTunes. My one's on the Android. Let's see if I can find the one on the Android that I've been using, which I think's really good. I recognise it by its symbol, actually, but I can't see it there. Go back to here. Unfollowers. Yeah, yeah, that's the one because it's installed. Unfollowers for Instagram. And what that basically does is, after I've followed, like these people I've been following only for a week, because this channel's only a week old, right? So that's okay. I'll follow these people for another week. But if they haven't followed me back, say in about 2 weeks, I'll be getting unfollowers onto their posterior. And what that will do, it's got an option where you can unfollow from the bottom, and I'll show you that in another video. But just slowly, one by one, I'll start reducing this so that, like, you know, I think it's like good to be following a lot of people, but obviously you want to try and bring that number back down a bit closer. Like, so ideally, you know, everyone that you follow follows you back in an ideal world. If everyone followed the right etiquette or whatever. Because etiquette's changed now. It's not like, you know, it's not like watching Fox News or something and you turn on the television and you only watch Fox News and they don't know who you are. This is social media. Some people think, oh, you know, you've got a big head if you only follow people that follow you. It's like, no, that's the new media, how it works. If you've got especially if you've got a channel where you're actively looking for followers, really you should only be interested in people that are interested in you. Why be interested in someone who's not interested in you? I mean, I could understand if you were trying to educate yourself and you're following a great artist or great literature and you follow them because you're genuinely interested in who they are. I've got other channels for that. This channel is really meant to gain followers. That's pretty much the purpose of it. And so to do that, I need people that are genuinely interested in what I'm saying, what I'm doing. And then I will become genuinely interested in them. Well, to a point. Look, this is what I was saying before. Like, okay, so I'm a bit of a vegan. So I'm going to prefer to like healthy food or plant-based food. But you know, sometimes I accidentally click on something because I'm going so fast. But like, you know, my preferences do appear. All right. What else can I teach you while we're here? Let's just talk about this hashtag before I go. There's one last little piece of the puzzle. So FB, that stands for follow back. Now, I've done all my work grinding, pretty much. I believe I've gone back and rewarded most of the people that have been nice to me, okay? So now I can spend a bit of time looking for some more people. Let's start with FB. And while we're on that, let's have a look at the popular posts. Notice how they've got a whole bunch of hashtags here. No, there's the FB one, right? But because this is overseas, there are a little bit different hashtags than what I'm looking for. Let's have a look at what this channel uses. Same thing, slightly different hashtags at what I'm looking for. There's one I've never seen before, GFB, but still not exactly what I'm looking for. What I am looking for right now is perhaps hashtags that I could use myself. There's a few. You could use these hashtags, copy these ones. There's picture of the night, pick of the day, pick of the night, Instagram, Instagood, Instamood. Same thing. All you do is you click on these and look, there's 500 million, half a billion posts. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's go back to follow FB. Let's just concentrate on FB for now. Follow, and this means follow back. So, according to these people, if they are true to what they hashtagged, that means that every time you follow them, they will follow you back. Now, of course, it's not necessarily true that they'll do that. There's going to be some fake people here that don't have the proper etiquette, that will allow you to follow them, right? But then they don't follow you back. That's just rude, right? That's just rude. Okay, what am I doing here? Okay, I'm clicking on channels that I think I'd be interested. Obviously, look, I don't want to follow every single person under the sun. Look, this is obviously some sort of marketing company. This isn't Ted, like, taking a photo of his wife Lorraine's feet, right? This is stock photography. But still, it's interesting stock photography. Whereas these chaps, these are real people. This isn't stock photography. They're real people. Same with that. They're real people, right? Same with this guy. Is more likely than not a real person. I like to have a bit of a mix of real people. I like curated content. This is curated content. You can just tell. This is not Lydia taking a photo of her girlfriend Lorraine. Maybe it is, but I doubt it. It's more likely that this is a model. It's probably not her channel. It's probably the channel of either some car event company, or it could be a photography company, or it could be some sort of shop that has that sort of old school 1950s rock and roll vibe to it. It could be many things, but it's probably not just an individual user, right? But I like to have a mix of both. This is probably an individual user. This is a photo of their pet, right? So, like I say, I like to have a mix of real people, and sometimes I like to have some channels. Like, because at the end of the day, like, no matter who they are, if it's a real person or if it's a channel, I don't care. Because at the end of the day, there's someone else at the end of the keyboard, like me, who is doing this. And as long as they follow the etiquette, which means that they follow back like they promised to by putting FB here in their tag, right? As long as they understand what that means, then they get a follow from me, and now we're all helping each other. We're all helping each other to gain followers. Right? Now, I can do this for a while, and then after a while, Instagram will slow me down so I can't follow new people. But you'll be able to see that. Once it stops allowing me to follow people, you'll be able to see that. And you didn't used to be able to see that, which was annoying. But now you can, which is good. So I just go through and try and build up a few new followers like this. Look, these are all things that I'm just kind of clicking on things that are naturally interesting to me anyway. Like, I like travel photography. I like art. I like music. Okay, so I've done a couple of the... Let's do some follow back always. Let's click on that one. Alright. Now, I'm not as interested in the top posts, because the top posts, I'm not confident they're going to have a lot of time to click back on me. Sometimes they do, and I've already shown you examples of where they do that, where they click back on me. But really, I'm a little bit more interested in these ones down here that are just kind of starting out, right? Because they've only got 9 likes and 2 comments, right? And that means I think there's a little bit more chance that they're going to have time to come back and put a little bit of love my way, like I've shown their channel. All right? So, just clicking through a few different things. I like to have a mix too of demographics. Like, some people might just be looking to pick up one type of socio-economic demographic. I'm more interested in really picking up a mix of different followers, because I don't want all my followers in one time zone, nor do I want them in one socio-economic demographic. I guess the reason why, apart from anything, is just so that I've got the variety of people who I follow, and also just to make Instagram feel like a bit of a global experience, I guess. I don't have the time or the money to travel at the moment, so this is my little window on the world, as well as my little advertising portal. All right, so you can see now I've just loaded up a whole bunch of people. Are you getting used to this, the way I use tabs in my browser? And can you see how that's saving me time? Because I can really just get all these interactions with my mouse and keyboard. I've got this down to, you know, I'm almost like a bot. I'm almost working like a bot. Except a bot probably wouldn't be able to tell if they're following child porn channel or not. And I can. And obviously I'd report that if I see it. you know, I mean, I follow the Instagram community guidelines. I haven't read every bit of the terms and agreement, but as far as I'm aware, I'm following all their rules, so that I can be part of their community. And yeah, it's a great way to get exposure, as you can see. So let's just click back on the mine for a sec. Since we started this, what, 6 new followers since... Now, how many did we have this morning when we started? I can't remember. And 23 new likes. Just refresh the page to make... Yeah, 23 new likes since we started. Not bad. Not bad. And don't forget, this channel's only like a week old. Right? So, when I do another video, you know, maybe I'll do a follow-up to this one in 6 months and see how much it's grown then. Okay? But as I've already pointed out, I've got more followers in the last week just by doing this than a lot of channels have done, and now you can see that stopped, okay? So now I can't follow anymore. Facebook's put on the brakes for, not Facebook, Instagram's put on the brakes, and now I have to wait 10 minutes before I can do anything. I can, however, like back if I was determined to keep going while I wait for me to be able to follow more. I could keep liking back more people, but I just can't follow any more new people. So let's go bang, 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 3 more. Alright, so I'm already following them. Alright, so there's 3. And, oh, he's liked me, so I've already liked him. There's not much more I can do there. Alright, look, I think that's enough for lesson 1 of gaining new followers on Instagram. Hope you learned something. I'd love to get your feedback on whether this video was helpful. I'd love to get any questions. I'd love to get any feedback on how I can improve these videos. I'd also love suggestions for what you'd like to learn in up-and-coming videos. Thanks very much for getting through to this point. I look forward to doing some more Instagram tips videos in the future.